Awesome. Happy new moon, solar eclipse, you guys. In Aries, okay? Lots of energy. So I'm going to start first with this cosmic chat to just talk about maybe how the collective may be feeling this energy, the eclipse energy in general. Eclipses, as we know, this is a solar eclipse. So it's an eclipse happening in the sun sign with the new moon. And we can't see a new moon because it is a dark moon, but the sun is basically like casting a shadow over over the moon. What is it? The moon is uh I can't even right now. The moon is blocked by the sun. Okay. I have a picture of it somewhere, so I'll find that. But anywho, we can't see it regardless, okay? Because we're not in the right hemisphere. And then also, like I said, new moons, we can't see the moon anyway. So it doesn't have the effect like a lunar eclipse, which we will have next week. Here's an image of a solar eclipse. So this is what I was trying to say. The sun is back there, but the moon is like basically moving in front of the sun, essentially blocking the light. So yes, we're in this, and it's crazy because this is the start of a new eclipse season, even though we're still in the middle of the old eclipse season. So we're wrapping up the Taurus-Scorpio Nodal transit. And so we're still in next month when we have the Scorpio lunar eclipse. It's going to be in Scorpio. So we're not even going to get to the Libra energy right until like Libra season. So it's weird. We're in this odd thing where we are still learning and integrating the lessons from the Taurus, Scorpio nodes, and starting the lessons of the Aries Libra. So if you're feeling a lot of energy, if you're feeling a little like, what the hell is happening? A lot is happening. There's a lot of energy going around right now. And like I was saying and telling Keisha yesterday, that's when I felt this energy. And I just was unsettled. I couldn't ground my energy. I wasn't feeling good in my body. I was in my mind. I was questioning myself. I was questioning the path I was on. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So you might be experiencing some of those things. And the best thing to do is just flow with it, because that's the name of the game with this, with everything, as we always talk about, is flowing with the energy. So just acknowledging, okay, I'm feeling this, and then let it go. But not try to fix it per se or try to figure it out. But just kind of let it be. Ashley said yes to all that. Oh, you can't see. That's interesting. My vision has been weird too. That's odd because I was recently, like, I was on Sanctuary typing and my vision was so weird. In my vision, I don't really have a vision issue. So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I feel like that's a good point in the sense of vision in general. So I'm going to use that, Ashley. So literally, maybe your vision's being impaired in some way, but also maybe your third eye is being impaired. Okay. There's a lot of energy going on. So our third eye is what we see and visualize for the future. And right now, since we're in this big shift, these new beginnings, we're still like Aries is kickstarting. We're still in this Kickstarter energy. We're trying to figure out where we're going. Like we have all these desires, we have these plans, but we're still not really sure how we're going to like achieve them, where they're going to lead us. And so our vision, our third eye, is also blurry right now. And that can kind of make a lot, that has a lot to do with the eclipse energy as well. Some mystics and spiritual teachers will recommend not manifesting on eclipses. Do whatever resonates with you, of course, but I think that might have something to do with it. You're not as clear about what you're wanting with all of this influx of energy. And so what I see with this is like all of this energy just pushing into this like this centered point. It's like pushing all through this portal. And as it's coming through, we're just getting hit with it. We're just getting like boom, boom, boom. And so it's all of this past energy, it's all of this future energy, and it's coming in and it's like a whirlwind. Okay. That's what I'm feeling. And so in that though, shifting your perspective and understanding that anxiety that might come up, shifting it to more anticipation of what's coming in, these things that we've asked for, these things that we're manifesting, these things that we know are just around the corner, but this eclipse season is like pushing it through, right? It's like pushing it through into our reality. And it can feel chaotic. Chaos energy can create anxiety, because anxiety is all about where we're going. And if we don't know, then we can feel that unsettledness. So collectively, we may be feeling that way. Also, we may, when I started speaking about that as well, we want to just make sure we're flowing and we're not resisting. So resistance is going to be the worst thing to do in this type of energy, because it's already in a lot. It's already intense. And to, it reminds me of that's a terrible example, so I'm not even going to use it. But if you're using like if something with a lot of force is coming at you, you don't want to stop. Like that's going to hit like way harder than if you're moving and that thing hits you. Like it may still, like you may still feel the impact, but it's not going to be as much of an impact. PSIs hitting this physics, right? Hitting this non-moving object, like that's going to have a greater impact than if you're moving away and something is coming and hitting you, right? So think of it like that. You don't want to stop and let all this energy just hit you, because then you're going to really feel it. Then it's going to feel a lot more overwhelming. Then it's going to cause more of an effect on your being. Because this is powerful energy, y'all. And also what's happening is, I want to talk about this too. Astrologically, we're at the 29th degree of Aries. So, on the houses, they're all like divided up, right? Each house, because of 360, each house is 30 degrees. And so when you start the season, so when we had that first Aries new moon, it was at 1 degree. Now we're at the end of Aries season and it's at 29 degrees. 29 degrees, it's called a anaretic degree. And that's basically the heightened intensity of that sign's energy. So all of the things that we've learned and things that we've culminated over Aries season, hitting at once, because it's like, okay, we're about to move into Taurus season. Did we learn all these Aries lessons? Did we, what energy came through, and, all that. It's like condensed. It's like hyper, it's like a lot. I'm feeling it right now. It's like a lot. Okay. So we're at this 29 degree, which is also called a fated degree. So what's happening is the North Node is also playing a big role in this. Like I said, we're in the middle of 2 eclipse seasons. So the North Node is conjunct with, or sextile with, Saturn right now. So we have this big fated, destined energy working with Saturn to literally put us on a path. Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is the rule book. And it's sextiling with Taurus. So it's like, no, this is what you're doing. This is where you're going. Then we have this new moon at this fated degree in this intense, fiery sign of Aries that's pushing us into that direction. So there is a lot going on. This is intense, but it's also fated, which is really cool. It's like fate. It's happening. Real change is happening. Real, a real pivot, a real shift, all of those things. That's really what's going on right now. And it can just feel super crazy. The other thing that I wrote down, which was really cool, was the idea of healing. We don't typically think of fire as healing, but heat heals, right? We know that heat is a healing component. And so with this eclipse, it's like a healing energy that's hyper like kind of sped up. It's kind of like, okay, like snap out of it. You're over here dragging your feet. You're over here scared to walk into this new version of yourself. Get over it. Get over the pain. Get over the hangups. Get over all of this. Well, I wish it would have worked out this way. Well, it didn't. It didn't work out that way. And this is where we are, right? Like that's kind of what an eclipse is doing. It's like, get out, like, come on, this is where we're going. So, and as you know, this is a 6-month cycle that we're starting with that lunar eclipse that we'll have in Libra season. So this is not like an immediate get it together, but this is the beginning of the, okay, we're on a new cycle. We're on a new path. We're in a new direction. With that being said, I pulled Oracle cards yesterday, and what did I pull? I got be assertive and big happy changes. So taking action and allowing yourself to know that the action that's being taken is bringing you big happy changes. It's bringing you everything that you've wanted. And I feel that personally. I really do. It's so weird. Something that I've desired so badly, I'm starting to see it happen. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this happening? And that's like that can be intense to be like, oh shit, I asked for this and here it is. So like that is what like this eclipse season is really bringing in. Obviously we're still in that axis with Libra. So checking in on how things may be feeling with your relationships, how you're feeling within those connections, asserting yourself more, knowing the connections that you want around you, knowing the ones that you don't want around you, knowing what relationships are going to help you manifest this next part of your life and the relationships that are not, you know, and being okay with leaving certain things behind. Like it's super important, I feel, because I just keep getting that message, even when I'm doing my tarot client readings. Like we can't get what we want if we still think we want what we didn't get. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, I want this, but I'm still holding out for this. Like that does not compute. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work that way. So be willing to release so you can get what you actually want. And the last thing I just wanted to say, because I had these really weird dreams and I felt like I was supposed to share these really weird dreams in some capacity. So the first thing, I was on a roller coaster. I love roller coasters. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a minute. Maybe I won't love them when I go back on them. I doubt that. But in my dream, whoever I was being on that roller coaster was not having a fun time. Okay. Was not enjoying the roller coaster. So when I got off the roller coaster, the message that came through was things that used to be fun, but aren't anymore. So take that and how it resonates with you. Anything that you used to enjoy doing that, you know what, I don't really like that anymore. That's okay. Let yourself not like that anymore because it's not coming with you on this next cycle that you're in. So and that also has a lot to do with like Aries energy as well, because Aries is very like, it's an active, fun, exciting, adventurous type of energy. And maybe certain things that you used to find joy and adventure in, they don't really align with you anymore. So allow yourself to say like, hey, that's not coming with me in this new cycle of mine. What did I wrote? Okay. And also truly realizing that you don't want something. That was another thing that came through. This was by me having a conversation with this lady about children. And that was basically what I extrapolated from that. Allowing yourself to say, hey, actually, I don't want that. That is not a dream of mine, a goal of mine, a desire of mine anymore. And letting that kind of go, allowing that to leave. Because this new moons are about manifesting, but you can't manifest if things are in the way and there's no space. So allowing yourself to really be like, you know what, I actually don't want to do that anymore. This actually isn't fun for me anymore, and so on and so forth. And okay, the other thing, this one was a really weird one. I won't even get into the imagery that happened there, but realizing that you're not trapped. Okay, you're not feeling trapped by decisions made, and then I don't know what that says, but basically what I got from it was like, we're not trapped. None of us are trapped in anything. No matter what our brain has told us, no matter what we've experienced, we can always make other decisions and release ourselves from people, thought processes, relationships. We are not trapped. There's always a way out. Okay, I don't know what that last one says. So that's that. Those are pretty good. Now that I'm like saying those out loud, those are pretty solid messages there. Cool. I think I'll just save my reading for Astro Reiki so we can get into. Pass it on over to you, partner.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like yesterday, I kind of woke up too with that whole like, oh, woe is me, I suck, and it's like I was like, ew, I haven't felt like this in a while. Like, where is this coming from? But I just was like, it was weird because I was like, I was being passive with it though. I was just letting it just be, and I was like, well, if I'm here today, okay, maybe I need to be here. But it was a little bit of like a detachment with it. It was like I was feeling it, but I was observing it more than I was really feeling it. If that makes sense. It didn't really get me into this deep, dark place that I've been before, but it was still just kind of like, oh, that's still there. Just the awareness of, oh, that darkness is still there. So it was kind of like that ring light around the moon, and the eclipse, how that looks. It's just kind of like it was like illuminating and circling where you're still dark, where things are still the shadow aspect of yourself, things that are being like in your unconscious or the subconscious mind, stuff you're not really thinking about, but you're thinking of, you know what I'm saying? So and they might feel a little bit of a disconnect there in some way because hopefully you've evolved and you've grown and you're just kind of like, okay, and then you just kind of go back, right? So that's like that ebb and flow. And it kind of reminds me of what you're saying, like when you're in the ocean, right? And or in the pool, or even like when those like white waters and the wave pools and all that sort of stuff they have. Like if you think about it, right? If you're trying to stand still and you see this wave coming at you, this wave of energy in this particular circumstance, but this wave coming at you, it's kind of like, yeah, it's you could try to stand there, but you're still going to get pushed and hit and all that kind of stuff, right? Kind of off knocked off your feet. But if the wave is coming, you just allow yourself to be blown away with it or just flow with it. There's a little bit more, not just freedom, but it's like it helps you to really be present and caught in the moment. It actually helps you to be more and not grounded, but just more aware of your body and where you are in time and space. Your proprioception, which is how your body is in time and space, but also it activates your interoception, which is how you're processing all that. It's more of a somatic feeling, like within your body. It's an internal thing where you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, all this is going on around me, but how am I feeling inside? So, like in yesterday's women's meditation, the message was peace, and it says everything's working out beautifully. There's no need to worry. And it said one of those things where although things may appear to be chaotic, everything is still orchestrated in divine timing through fate, through destiny, through the universal laws of cause and effect and karma and attraction and all that kind of stuff. Resonance, vibration, whatever. But all that is all still orchestrated down to like the tiniest detail. So even though something may be happening, guess what? Everything is interwoven. And if you don't like something, you can always pivot and change it, right? Depending on how you want to move forward. So it's like you're in the ocean and a wave can come this way. You can face it head on and just allow yourself when it hits you to be like, okay, and surrender to it. Or you can turn your back to it, right? You can, I don't know, be sideways and see how that hits you or whatever. But you have an option. So you don't have to accept things necessarily as they're coming to you. You have a way to still be able to move and pivot in this energy. And so for me, I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to let that be what it is and override that with like affirmations and like, just being aware that this is something, a thought or feeling I haven't really felt or experienced in a while. So I'm just gonna flow with it. And eventually it just kind of moved out the way. It just kind of like dissipated. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I wake up today and I feel fine. There's, definitely more clarity in certain things. For me, I guess as a Libra cardinal sign, I feel very, a lot more empowered in who I am. I saw a client today I hadn't seen in years. She was like, she's like, you look the same, but she was like, she's like, you and your energy, something's different. She was like, you seem like more mature, but still youthful at the same time. She's like, you're almost kind of like, you seem more grown up and mature, but somehow you still seem very like young and have, and I was and youthful. And I was like, okay, cool. But it's kind of like that's what this energy to me feels like. It's a little bit of like going with the flow, but also just saying, I know this stuff is happening around me and I don't even know what to do with it. I'm just gonna let it be, right? And just see in a way what comes up as I transition through this, but still remaining solid at your core of what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you are consciously choosing to release, and that which you're trying to also not trying to, but that which you're calling in its place. Because when it comes down to energy work, anything that you release, sometimes I feel like we get stuck in the releasing phase and like, the coulda, shoulda, woulda, and the like I was the other day, the oh woe is me and feeling like sorry for myself and stuff. But I realize it's because anytime I let something go, if I don't consciously shift my focus on what I want to bring into this new space, then yes, it's easy to get stuck in what you're releasing and what you're letting go of because you haven't consciously said, oh, now in this space, this is what I want to create. This is what I want to receive, right? Because once you start doing that, then your mind will start to focus on what you want to create, what you receive, and it'll eventually start to wash out and overshadow the kind of like the eclipse. It'll start to overshadow that which you release. So now you can focus on what it is that you really desire. And that's how I feel like this particular moon is, especially with this being the second one in the sign of Aries, and to me, what I would say is a pretty significant year because it's 7 years. So it's about, like not only mastery, but like congratulations, you've done the work, right? So it's kind of like you want to make sure when you step up to that podium and that spotlight of life, 6 months from now, whatever it is, you can be like, yes, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm worthy of being here. I'm owning this moment. Because Aries, that's what they're gonna do. They're very self-focused. And so to me, this is kind of like this is a second opportunity, this new moon, to be like, what is it that you really, really want? Get clear. We already had you get clear, a month ago. This is the second opportunity because we have the Libra full moon in the middle. Like, okay, let's illuminate where are those relationships that aren't serving you or bringing you down or, causing you to question your identity and all that stuff. It's time to get down to the core. And to me, this solar eclipse, the way it looks like to me, is almost kind of like I think Sydney was saying the void. To me, I know it. I call it the 0 point. 0 point is that black hole where all creation is possible. And you think about a black hole, you think of us as women in a portal. On the outside, our skin may be one color, whatever, but on the inside, we're all kind of the same, right? Like our portal, our womb, it's dark when you get in there. I don't care what color you're on the outside, it's dark when you get up in there, right? You would have to ask OBGYN, but I'm pretty sure we all look the same on the inside. As far as like color wise, but outside of that though, it's just one of those things where this dark portal, this womb space, this place of rebirth, Aries being the baby of the zodiac, it's like, how are you allowing yourself to be reborn through this portal, this canal, this this time of like pivotal transformation? And it's like, to me, it reminds me almost of this meditation I did like long time ago, probably over 10 years ago when I was in the beginning of my spiritual journey. I was meditating and I was like, oh, I was going up in the ethers. And this will be actually tonight's meditation, but going up in the ethers and then seeing like a black hole. And it's kind of interesting because I've seen a picture like this. I don't know if it was Cinderella or Snow White or something, but I see a black hole. It's like an Instagram meme or something. It's a black hole, and she's standing at the edge of it, debating on if she's going to jump in or not. If I find that again, I'll share it. But it's one of those things where, to me, I saw this black hole And I told myself, I trust myself. The unknown is a safe space for me. And I've always, ever since then, I was like, that's a good affirmation. So I've always affirmed that the unknown is a safe space for me. I don't care what everybody else feels about the unknown. It is a safe space for me to go and to explore and to gain knowledge and become wiser and to transform and to transmute energy, right? Because if I'm going into the birth of creation, there's also a death of creation. And that's how spring and winter are very similar in a way, because like within one holds the other. Within spring, there's death, right? There has to be death in order for the new fertility, the fertile soil to reap our harvest. And then also in the winter, without winter, there is no spring, and spring wouldn't be there without winter. So there's a life and death always happening. So in this particular meditation, I jumped into the black hole, and it was weird because mentally I went all the way up and was like, oh, I'm out here in the ethers in space. National t-shirt on. So I go up there and I'm in space. I see this black hole and I see myself like, you know, I don't know, doing my little astronaut swim over to the black hole. And I step on the edge of it and it's like I feel this like this vibration that's like but it felt magnetic, like it was almost like kind of like wanting to pull me in a little bit. And I was like, that's interesting. And that's when I affirm, like, the unknown is a safe space for me. I don't know why people are afraid of the black hole, but we're going to find out today. And it was the coolest meditation I've ever done. I jumped in the black hole with a heart full of faith, and what I jumped into was myself. I jumped in and I saw myself from an aerial view. And it was cool because I knew I was here in the physical, but I also was seeing myself from this bird's eye view way up like above me. And I was like, that has to be my higher self. But it was cool because when I looked inside of me, it was kind of like the eclipse. I saw an outline of a human, right? Like the sun, the ring around it. I saw this outline of a human, but the inside was just stars and galaxy. And it was like some sort of plasma kind of feeling, and it was just all sparkly and stuff inside. And I was like, whoa, like I really am made of stardust and magic and all this stuff and potential and life and just creation. And I was just like, wow. And in that moment, I was like, I should never doubt my abilities ever again. That's the human mind, right? That's that conditioning. But to have that meditation, to see myself as like the micro of the macro was just like, I don't know. It was just, I opened my eyes and it's like an experience that I could never, ever forget. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel like this new moon is. It's an opportunity for you to really dive deep within yourself, dive through the shadows, dive through the darkness, you know, dive through all the excess, the chaos, all the, you know, negative stuff, all that stuff. Go through that. Don't get stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Go through it so that you can actually come out on the side and see the magic that you truly are. See yourself in clarity and in truth for who you truly are. And so, yeah, I think that's a pretty, you know, pretty cool way to see this energy. And yes, I mean, so far for me, I'm like, it's been fine. You know, today is the Aries new moon. It just so happens to be my little friend McLovin is his birthday today. So so it's very interesting. But yeah, meditation, don't worry if you're scared to jump into a black hole or whatever. We're all going to be there, and we're going to do some astral projecting tonight in meditation. So I will walk us through how to get to the black hole, and then it'll be like a little spiritual field trip, okay? We'll just all hold hands and jump in together, jump into the abyss, I guess, together. And don't worry, I'm well prepared. Got the NASA t-shirt on, got your astrological guide here. Wasn't planning on this, it just worked out. So with that being said, go ahead and take a moment to just let all this fall and land where it may in your space, in your mind, allowing your eyes to gently close and taking a breather, checking in with yourself, noticing how you're responding or how you've received all of the information that's been provided. Notice what resonated, What might have inspired you? What might have reminded you? What might have triggered you? What might have supported you? Just notice how the information you receive makes you feel, and the thoughts that may have come to mind. Just continue to breathe your own pace, noticing the ebb and flow of breath as it moves through you, noticing its qualities, its rate, its depth, its speed. Allow the breath to assist you in shifting your awareness from that outside of you to within. Checking in with your thoughts. Noticing where you are in the mind, in the past, and what has happened or transpired, or in the future, what you may or may think will happen. Any worries or concerns about your future, just notice your thoughts. Breathing deep. And allowing the breath to bring you to the space of your emotions, and just acknowledging how you're feeling, knowing that all feelings simply are feedback, response to your thoughts, a response to your bodily sensations, a response to the world outside of you. As you begin to scan your body from head to toe, allowing a sense of ease to wash over you, surrendering any of those thoughts, circumstances, people, feelings, fears, worries, concerns, sensations in the body, allowing all of that to just fall by the wayside, dissipating down into the earth beneath. Give yourself permission to let go and to release so that you can create space to receive just as the breath moves in and out. When you let go, you create space for something better. On your next breath, give yourself permission to activate your imagination, the ability to create imagery within the mind, so that you may explore the possibilities that are here in this moment for you. And you'll just allow the mind to step back, observing where you are right here, right now, in time and space. Even with your eyes closed, you can feel and sense the room around you. Notice yourself occupying this space wherever you are. In whatever room you're in, just imagine yourself floating up and into one of the corners of the room. And from this corner of the room that you're in, you can visualize yourself jumping to the roof of the building that you are in, the structure you're in. Just see yourself sitting on the roof, taking a moment, taking it all in. Maybe you see the night sky above you. Maybe you see lights of the city and the homes around you. What do you notice as you sit here on the roof of this building? And although the new moon is dark, there's a part of you that knows exactly where it is in the night sky. Attune your awareness to this Aries new moon. Maybe you begin to see and visualize a bright ring of light around this new moon. And on your next breath, when you are ready, you're going to allow yourself, as if by magic, to just jump from the roof of the building that you're in all the way to the moon, landing softly on her surface. And just taking a moment, taking a breath, knowing that you can breathe here easily and gracefully on the moon. Maybe you look around and you see the geography of the moon. Maybe you see the sun in the distance. Maybe you see the earth on the other side of you in the distance. You take a moment just to be here on this moon. Maybe you feel its energy, how from Earth it appears to be hidden, but yet here you are. And then once again, using the power of your imagination, out far, far off in the distance, you see stars, maybe other galaxies. But out in the distance, you notice a vortex of energy. It's calling you. You feel a pulse, a magnetism drawing you to it. You find yourself curious. You begin to notice maybe those that you are familiar with, friends or family, maybe they are with you there. Maybe you're by yourself. Maybe you just see the other people that are on this call making their way to this vortex of energy out in the distance. You begin to notice people gathering here along the edge of this vortex. Notice how you're feeling. Notice what you're sensing, what you're thinking. What are you seeing? What do you know? You find yourself surrounded by kindred spirits, close friends or loved ones that are here willing to take this leap of faith with you. This leap of faith into a new dimension, one of endless possibilities, one of purpose, pleasure, prosperity, abundance, ease, grace, all that supports you in your future is fading. This moment here, right now, is part of your destiny. Find yourself holding hands with those around you, feeling a sense of support, not only for yourself, but the support you can give to those around you. For we are all here to make this leap, to make this journey together, share this moment together. You check in with your intentions. Give yourself permission to be willing to just let go. To receive new life. It's as if you are being baptized. Take a deep breath. On the count of 3, allow yourself and those around you to take that leap of faith into this vortex. 1. Feel yourself getting ready, the excitement coming up. 2. Maybe you feel yourself holding the hands of those around you a little firmer. Taking a deep breath once again, and 3, jumping in. Traveling through time and space. All that no longer serves you is being sucked away. Find yourself surrounded in this swirl of energies, light. What do you notice? How are you feeling? Follow those feelings. Where are they taking you? Why? What are they showing you? What is being revealed to you? What do you sense? What do you know? What do you see? What do you hear? As you move through this vortex, having transcended all time and space, now see yourself moving through that funnel, that tunnel of energy, coming through that center point. And shoot out the other end. Back to the moon. Coming back to the roof. Back to the corner of the room. Back into your body. Notice what you've gathered. Allowing your experience to just integrate. Surrendering and releasing anything else that no longer serves you. Feeling yourself releasing anything else that you may have been tied to or tethered to. It's release. That energy simply floats off back to its original source. Here in this moment, being free, being clear, being open. Calling in that which you desire for this next phase, this next chapter, this next season of your life. Feel yourself, just as that vortex of energy was magnetizing and drawing you to it, you are now that vortex of energy. You calling in. Allow that which you desire to just funnel in through your crown, through the mind, seeing yourself having it, receiving, allowing that energy to come in through neck, jaw, to heart space, down to the arms, feeling yourself receiving, allowing all of that you desire to continue to funnel in to the rest of your body, the belly, hips, legs, feet, toes. You completely embody that which you desire. You are that firm I am that, because you are. I am worthy, deserving, loved, and supported here today and all of your tomorrows. May you continue to embody this truth. May you continue to magnetize all that serves your highest ease and grace. May all your dreams come true in alignment, synchronicity, plentiful. Your dreams come true, or better, that is the new trajectory that you are on, the path you've created is destiny. Fate will not fail you. You are destined for big, big things. Failure is no longer an option. Success is inevitable. You stay anchored and aligned who you truly are. So it is. As you take a nice deep breath, slowly beginning to bring some movement, animation to the extremities by wiggling your toes and your fingers, rolling through the wrists, your ankles, maybe just allowing those movements to become bigger. As you take a nice stretch, maybe some shoulder rolls or some neck rolls, releasing any tension in the body, continuing your process of integration, this new way of being, new way of doing, new way of living, experiencing life. And giving yourself some love, a nice hug, being here doing the work, prioritizing yourself, giving yourself permission to be different, feel different, to live different. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes, coming out of meditation.